It is 23 now before 9 o'clock. It's News Talk, FM 94.3, WRHI. It's Chuck Boozer along with Freddie Hammer on this Tuesday morning. We've got a great guy on the phone with us this morning. He's an author. His name is Michael Smith.
That's right.
He's written a book called
The 100 of the Worst Ideas in History. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Freddie and Chuck. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to have you with us, too. Thanks for joining us.
We love books like this. It's sort of like a little bit of an expose on our foibles as Americans, I guess, and I guess of the worldwide foibles as well. So tell us, what made you and Eric Kasem write a book like this?
Well, you know, both Eric and I are writers. I run my own advertising company, and he's a former speechwriter, actually, for the first Bush administration, CBS News. He's worked for also the New York Times. So we deal with ideas all day long, basically. So we have great empathy for what it takes to come up with a good idea, and we've got a fair amount of sympathy for what happens when that seemingly good idea goes terribly wrong.
I guess some of the good ideas that they thought were good, I sort of touch on a couple of them. I guess when you have presidents skinny dipping in the...
Hello?
What's up with that? I mean, that was sort of a long time ago when they sort of expect a certain thing to go a certain way, and then it doesn't necessarily go the way they thought. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, actually, we call that one the president's scandalous embarrassment. You know what I mean by that one?
Yeah, I think we do.
And it kind of gives crack of dawn a whole new meaning. Each morning, President John Quincy Adams sneaks down to the Potomac. He undresses and proceeds to skinny dip with the ducks and geese, as we say in the book, all the while naked as a jaybird.
Yeah, baby.
Believe it or not, a newspaper reporter named Anne Royal hears about it, hides out in the Potomac's foliage, and catches the unsuspecting president in the buff.
Oh, my gosh.
This is all true. She takes his clothes and holds them ransom until he agrees to grant her a long-awaited interview she's been seeking.
Oh, my God.
Well, he gets his clothes back, and she gets the interview. But soon the word gets out, as it always does with these kinds of things, and now Adams is swimming in a pool of ridicule, shall we say, and shame. And as a result, the Adams administration's policy agenda stalls, and he's soundly defeated for re-election in 1828 by Andrew Jackson. And in the end, the electorate considered Adams' sagging credibility and saggy backside.
Hello.
And concludes that the president has no clothes.
That's excellent.
By the way, a couple of other notables who like the skinny dip. Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
You can imagine that, and maybe you don't want to.
No, I don't. I just want to see him flying a kite with a key on the cord, okay?
And also President Teddy Roosevelt. Both fans of skinny dipping.
No, I don't want to see that either. That's kind of a visual there I don't want. How about the product placement of the Reese's Pieces in the movie? That's probably one of the most famous product placements there of
Well,
E.T.
sure.
That was a mistake?
That kind of launched the entire thing, Chuck. I mean, this one goes back to 1981, and this is a bad idea that comes from what we call the chocolate-covered nuts at M&M Mars, the candy bar people. And they turned down, perhaps, as you stated, what is the greatest product placement opportunity in movie history. So we've all seen the movie E.T. Both of you, I'm sure, have seen the movie
yes.
E.T.
Uh-huh.
In the film, of course, Elliot, the character, lures E.T., the extraterrestrial, out of his hiding. I think he's hiding in a closet with a trail of candies. So E.T.'s producers approach Mars, and they want permission to use one of their products in the film. They figure a visitor from another planet would likely be attracted to the most popular candy on Earth, which is M&M's.
I'm in.
But the space cadets, as we say at Mars, say no. Oh. They say, hey, listen, we don't want an alien eating our candy. It's going to frighten the children. Can you imagine this? This is just upon looking at the script. Of course, the movie's not done yet.
Right.
So now E.T.'s producers are stuck, and they scramble to find a replacement. They come up with an obscure, relatively unpopular candy Hershey has been pushing for years called Reese's Pieces. So a deal is struck where Hershey agrees to pay absolutely nothing, zero, for placing Reese's Pieces in the film. And in exchange, they promote the movie in their own advertising for the candy. Well, E.T., of course, as we know, rockets past Star Wars to become the highest-grossing film of its time.
How would they have known?
Yes, and Reese's Pieces sales blast off with it. So Hershey's went on to say it was the biggest marketing coup in history and really launched product placement as a staple into
That's
Venus.
probably one of the most memorable scenes, other than flying on the bike with him draped in the
Yes.
blanket or something. You know,
Everybody
Yes.
remembers it. Sales took off.
Yes.
What a ridiculous idea by M&M Mars not to go for that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and the one more that I want to hear about is the chauffeur started a world war with a wrong turn.
Yes.
Well, this is an interesting one because it takes place in that kind of tinderbox that we know as the Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Croatia area. It's an area that the U.S. has had involvement in, of course, all through time, and particularly in the 1990s. But this goes back to 1914, I believe. And Franz Ferdinand, who is the leader of that area, is parading through downtown Sarajevo in an open-air limousine. And back in those days, they literally had bomb throwers. I mean, that's a euphemism today for anybody who takes a pot shot at somebody, but they literally, in those days, had people who would make bombs and throw them at you.
Oh.
So this is the Serbian Black Hand is the name of this organization that does not like Franz Ferdinand.
Okay.
So a bunch of them get together, they make some bombs. As he's parading down the streets of Sarajevo in his limousine, they throw a bomb. It misses him, but it does hit some of the spectators who are watching on the sidelines. Well, some of those people are injured, and Franz Ferdinand decides, hey, I'm going to go visit them at the hospital later that same day. It's the right thing to do. They were only injured because I was in a parade. People were trying to take a shot at me. So he instructs his limousine driver to take him to the hospital in Sarajevo. Well, that's the bad idea. The limo driver has no idea where he's going. He pulls down a street that's basically a dead end. It's backed up with traffic. It happens to be in front of a sandwich store. Inside the sandwich store is one of the would-be assassins from earlier that day.
Oh, my God.
He's chewing on a sandwich. He looks out the window. Imagine his surprise when he sees the guy he was trying to get earlier that day sitting dead as a duck right in front of him in a car. So he walks out, almost like Dirty Harry in that movie where he's eating a hot dog and he's got a Magnum in his other hand. He walks up and sadly shoots both Franz Ferdinand and his wife dead.
Well, there you go. It started
So
World War I.
that wrong turn started World War I. World War I erupted, 20 million casualties. World War I, it can be argued, directly led to World War II, another 20 to 30 million casualties. So that chauffeur, with his wrong turn, responsible indirectly for at least 50 million deaths.
Oh, my gosh. What an incredible book and incredible research you've done.
Did you run across any stories that you just thought, wow, this tops the last one? Or, I mean, weren't all these just really?
Well, they were all, I mean, what we tried to do with the book is make sure that if it was an event or a product or a service or whatever it was that you might have heard of in the past, we wanted to find an angle that maybe you hadn't heard of. I mean, for example, there's the restaurant chain that names itself after a derogatory term for African Americans. We said, really? How could that be?
Really?
And sure enough, that's true. There's the famed archaeologist whose discovery of the missing link is actually revealed to be he took an old human skull and glued a monkey jaw to it. But for years, that was thought to be the missing link.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a couple of more here. There's the innovative snack food company that markets cookies and crackers that could cause a bizarre malady the FDA terms as anal leakage. I'm sorry
goodness.
if you're eating your cornflakes out there right now.
Honey,
I
pass the
apologize
oatmeal,
for that.
please.
And then
Wow.
finally, there's the sporting event that requires contestants to stick an angry ferret down their pants and see how long they can last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Sign us up.
All right, we got a second period now of ferret rustling. Here we go, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Michael, this sounds like a great book, though. This sounds like a little bit of fun for everybody. What a great gift book to give to people.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think it's probably it's a good dad and grad type of thing.
Yes.
And of course, during the summer travel season, it's written in simple, one idea per two-page spread kind of a format. So it's great for waiting rooms and airplanes and, of course, bathrooms.
Thank you for not saying that it's so easy to read that even radio people can read it.
Even
Okay.
radio people might enjoy
no,
this
he
book.
did say it. Oh, no.
He knows all about us being a bad guy. Well, Michael Smith, it's so nice. Thanks so much for joining us.
Where can you get the book?
Yeah, we can get it on
it's
Amazon?
available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can look us up at 100worstideas.com. And Costco, Sam's Club, and better stores everywhere.
Excellent. Well,
Fun
thanks so much
stuff.
for joining us
Fun
today,
stuff.
Michael.
Thank you, Michael, for the lighter side of some
Our
things.
pleasure. Thank you.
You bet.
Tell Eric we said thanks as well.
Sure.
All
Great
right.
stuff. All right. Good stuff. Unbelievable.
So funny. I love that stuff.
Wow. Well, he gets it, doesn't he?
Definitely.
All right. We need a little bit more of that.